Wow. Welcome. Welcome to our first night of Freedom Fire Ministries Revival TV. Sorry about that through the intro there. We had another program running in the background which was playing as well. My apologies. It's a good night to start off on a good theme.
It's launch night.
It's launch night.
Launch night.
So we'll iron these little things out as we go through. But tonight we want to welcome a friend of ours, Bob Overton, from Louisiana now.
Woo-hoo!
But I think, Bob, we met you in 2009 into 2010 at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City is where we first met you with our good friend Rich Hensling and Clive Lopman. We were like the gruesome group that used to meet and hang out outside the coffee shop.
Crazy dudes.
So it's great to have you on here tonight. And so we're just going to be like throwing little nuggets at you and picking your brains, Bob, tonight about how you got into dreams and dream interpretation. And so why don't you just say a little bit about your journey of...
Can we just say to share?
Yep.
So if you're watching tonight on Facebook Live, just share this to your Facebook feed so that we get this out all over. You have such a big sphere of influence that we don't have. So if that's you, just get your phone, go on Freedom Fire Ministries Facebook page and share the live TV revival right now. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring. Come on.
And also, as you hear Bob explaining things, if you've got any questions, you can actually grab your phone and put them into the comment box here, and we will see them here. And towards the end, we'll address some of your queries and questions. And so it's just going to be a good fun night, but an informative night. So, Bob, when you start off, where did this all begin for you, and how did you get into dreams and this Daniel thing about dreaming and hearing from God, and then later, interpreting God?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me on. It's such a blessing being your friends, and the love and kindness, in the ministry you have is really cool. I got saved in '83, and I mean saved. I knew about God, but I got baptized in the Holy Ghost, and my whole life changed with all kinds of encounters. In 2005, after Katrina, I went up, and in 2006 went to IHOP for the first time, International House of Prayer in Kansas City, IHOP KC. And it was wild. It kind of tracked with my life, the supernatural things that were happening there that happened to me in New Orleans. And so to fast forward 2006, one thing, I was there by myself. I didn't know anybody. God encountered me there in a crazy, crazy way. I left and I burned for about 20 days. I just burned. I mean, sleeping an hour or two a night and just wake up and say Jesus and go, oh gosh. The Lord was just on me so heavily. And during that time, I went to heaven and a door was opened to me to interpret dreams. I got to see people in heaven, the cloud of witnesses, and in my head, my angels showing me around, and I had a dream in heaven, went to sleep in heaven, had a dream, and then a door was opened to me where I walked up into the dream. Then I started having 2, 3, 4 dreams every night. And in the dreams, I was being taught how to interpret. And I would have crazy dreams where I'd wake up in the morning and turn on Mike Bickle, and he would finish the teaching that was started in my dream.
Wow.
I would have dreams where I like watching airplanes, fight in World War II and how they maneuver and get behind their, the guy and how they, so I like the spiritual warfare type aspect there. And I'm watching that, and I have a thought in my mind as I'm going to bed, and I wake up 20 minutes later with a dream about the TV show that I was watching, the airplanes. And it was choreographed in a way that it answered the thought that I had in my head before I went to bed.
Wow.
And it's like, I didn't say anything, but God knew it. He took the show I was watching and he choreographed it different to answer a question that I was pondering. The way that the Lord helped me with dreams, and and I don't always get to share this part, but after he taught me, I went to my the first conference of Passion for Jesus conference at IHOP and prayed for someone to have a dream. Are you still there?
Yes, we're good, Bob.
Yeah, okay. we're just listening, man.
Okay, I just lost you on my screen. All right. So anyway, I prayed for someone to have a dream, and they had an incredible dream the day before. I mean, 2 days later, and they. But the thing isn't about that. The thing is that God told me. He said, "Go after every dream, no matter how crazy, no matter how bizarre." And I'm like, "What do you mean, Lord?" He's like, "Nightmares, tormenting dreams, pornography dreams, every dream, if they can remember it, interpret it." And I was like, wow, okay. And he said, most of all, you're on a mission. I said, I'm on a mission. He said, yes. He says, find a dream from the devil.
Wow.
And I said,
that's a biggie.
Wow.
So 50,000 dreams later, with people with dreams all over the world, I haven't found one yet.
Yay.
I haven't found one. And I've talked to so many people, and and I had a devil dream, and this was a dream. And the devil was on my chest, and he was choking me, and I woke up, me and my wife, we got together and we prayed, and we got rid of the devil, and we realized he was choking our finances, and he was doing this and doing that, and we got set free. Oh, so the devil showed you what he was doing, and so then you could kick him out of your life, right? It's so crazy. The tormenting dreams, we were just discussing that before we got on. God, it says in Job, God torments us with dreams, and it's like, well, the Bible says that God gives his beloved his sleep, and he gives us peace at night at sleep. But the dreams come in and interrupt us, usually because things in our day life that we don't see are really bothering us. And he is wanting to reveal that to us in the dreams. It's so amazing. It's the hidden things that are revealed by way of a parable. And the parable is an invitation to seek him out. And the parable always goes against your flesh. It goes against what you believe. It actually has what you believe right there to suck you in, to pull you into that drama and to cause you to be totally into it. And you find out, after it's interpreted, oh my God, it doesn't mean that at all.
Wow.
Wow.
So just for those who have just come on, welcome to Freedom Fire Ministries Revival TV. And we're just doing our chat show tonight with this amazing guy, Bob Overton, who is both a dreamer and a dream interpreter. So we're just hearing his story about how he got into dreams and that there are no dreams from the devil. So basically, are you saying then that God will give things that seem to scare us to uncover things to us, to reveal things to us?
Dreams are information that we then bring to the Lord in prayer, and we can sort out. Children's nightmares. I had one prophet tell me, who would torment a 4-year-old girl and wake her up in the middle of the night and have her screaming and crying? My God's a God of love. He wouldn't do that. And my God's a God of love, and he would do that. I've interpreted dreams for a family where the child was having nightmares and the neighbor was molesting him.
Wow.
And it was in the dreams. And that's not one. That's happened many, many, many times. One girl, a 9-10-year-old girl, she had dreams, and about a monkey. And the monkey kept staring at her and tormenting her and really scared her. And she woke up in great fear. Well, that monkey was her thoughts. That during the day, she wasn't thinking well of herself. And so how did the parents find out that their daughter was struggling with thoughts that demeaned her and thoughts that were tearing down her character and making her pull inside of herself? You know, and it was in the dream, it revealed that the mom and dad struggled with these very same things around the same time. So the parents were then able to talk to their daughter and secure her and say, hey, this is something that we've gone through also, and we can help you with this.
Yes.
Wow. It's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome. Amazing that when it's just like getting the word of knowledge. If for those of you who get words of knowledge in prayer and things like that, and you see something and you hear like they're struggling with pornography. So then you don't embarrass that person in front of everyone. You tell them God is going to give you strength to walk out of the things that you're struggling with.
Yes.
Amen.
Yeah. You know, and so you build them up. Well, the dreams are pretty much the same way. They come in a parable that offend you, that attack you, and sometimes it's like one of the things I always remind myself. Well, love brought the dream, and if I wake up crying, it's a good thing, and if I wake up laughing, I just got corrected. You know. There's what am I doing wrong? You know, it's kind of like, it's just amazing how God uses the drama of our dreams to have us, because He's catching us off guard. Mm-hmm. We're set in a drama, like a motion picture of something happening at a certain place in a certain time. We have no idea where the dream came from, why it's there, what's going on. So dreams are introspective because the dream is for the dreamer. We rarely see dreams that are actually for someone else. And that's a big thing also, because it's not in the Bible that people dream for other people. It does happen. You know, I've interpreted dreams for people, and that dream was for me. It does happen, but it's rare. Mm-hmm. It's rare. You know, all dreams are for the dreamer to understand something that's hidden from them, you know, and love brought the dream. And so when we try to apply our dreams to everyone else, well, then we're caught in the parable again. You know, the parable is God is using our pride. He's using our intellect. He's using everything that we have. It's actually in the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's the infection that got in our soul when Adam and Eve ate from that tree. And what that says is that I judge as if I'm God. So my experience and my life gives me the ability to judge. And we have to discern and judge and learn and grow. But we always have to leave place for God, because and be ready to be corrected, like Job was corrected. You know, his friends, they've got, you know, all these chapters in Job where his friends were like, "You're doing this and you're doing that," and they're all this supposition that is from their own wisdom. And then God comes in, He says, "Where were you when I created the fountains? You know, when I formed the earth? When the angels, when the stars in the sky clapped because of the creation, where were you at?" Well, you know, it wasn't there, you know, and so this tree of the knowledge of good and evil, it's a real thing. It's a tree is a belief system. And when we judge by our own perspective, when we begin to create identity, then we have feelings and emotions that follow that identity. And if that identity is wrong, not purposed in the things of God, brought by trauma or other ways, then we have to get out of that. And dreams show up right when these things are happening, to reveal what's going on in our lives, to gather that part of our soul and put it under our spirit and say, no, you will not act this way. You're not going to cause me to be depressed, or cause me to judge people unrighteously, or, to do the things, not be able to choose love for myself or others because of a belief system, an identity that came not by God. It's the knowledge of good and evil.
So hold on. Sorry. So Bob, it's like you're telling us that the dream is a revelation out of love from God for us, to be like the hook that actually causes us to, well, I've had this dream, I don't understand it, but I need to understand it because it's disturbing me, or I've had it so many times that it makes me feel good, depending on which way the dream comes. But there's always that sort of parable in it, or there's a bit in it that we need to search out. So it's like God gives us the dream to pull us in to searching for him, and where is he in the midst of the dream that I've just had.
It's the glory of God to hide a thing, and it's the kings that search it out. It's our job to find the truth in the midst of everything that says the truth isn't the truth. No.
So where would you say our dream language comes from?
Well, that's really interesting, because you see, working with people from all over the world and working with different religions, I've interpreted dreams for Jews and for Islam and Muslims and unbelievers and different sexual orientations. The interpretations they're the same, which I believe that God could give dreams that we couldn't interpret, but he doesn't want to do that. But he does do it so that we search after them. And we talk in our book about the dream paradox. Here it is. We talk in our book about dreams that are parabolic, and then dreams that are they're literal. Dreams that are literal. And the dreams that are literal are rare. There's not very many. And so even when you have a voice speaking to you and telling you things, you have to discern good and evil. And you have to really try what is being said, because is what being said in your dream something that you already believe and are drawn into that, and it's in your dream to show you it's not right?
Yes.
Or is it in your dream to tell you that's what's going on? And if that's another key, is that our dreams, especially those of us who dream a lot. Now, I interpret dreams for people that have dreams every now and then, and that dream answers something that's going on in their life right then and there. But those of us who dream every day, it's a continual conversation. It doesn't change till you get it. That's where you get the tormenting dreams and the reoccurring dreams. It's God saying, you need to get this principle. This is the most important thing you don't know that you need to know.
Yes.
and so he keeps bringing it over and over. The dreams interpret the dreams. So to say, okay, I've interpreted dreams for a Muslim. They had a dream about a heavenly encounter. The Bible, the language in the Bible. And okay, so let's just talk about this for a second. A snake. We have snakes first entered into the Bible in where Eve talked to a snake. And by the way, that is all parabolic. Just giving you something, search that out. Jesus says that the scribes and Pharisees are snakes and vipers.
Yeah.
Okay, so that tells you what the meaning of a snake is. I've come to this conclusion, Satan, get behind me, Satan, for you care about not the things of God, but the things of man. It's like, oh, So Satan cares about my selfish man, and so when Satan's in a dream, he's the accuser, and he's operating as an adversary of man against God. So he's always not in the plan of God. So when he's there, okay, there's some things where I'm operating against God, But let's just say the snake. The snake to me is the wisdom of the flesh, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. She ate from the tree. And, and so whenever there's a snake in a dream, well, they can poison you with a bite, which goes into the blood. There's life in the blood. And then they poison you they kill you by restricting you, creating boundaries you shouldn't have.
Wow.
Stopping you, putting fear in you, and so where do all these things, it's all talking to us about us. And we want to say, oh my God, there's a witchcraft involved. There's something afoot. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but usually our dreams are about things we believe, that we establish, that stop us from being all we can be. That's the next key I want to share really quick.
Yeah.
Whenever the quality of our life is being hindered and stopped, and joy is stolen from us, that's when we dream. Because God cares about us and our time on earth and how we enjoy our time, and that we lavish this time and we love others and ourselves. And when that love is being hindered by life itself and other people who God intervenes, he says, no, listen, you're allowing this belief system to steal the life I've given you. I don't want that to happen. It's, and here we have John 10:10. The devil is in the flesh, but the devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. Mm-hmm. And Jesus came to give life more abundantly.
Yeah.
And so it's like the dreams are going to restore the life that was stolen by the flesh, either you or someone else, something that you want, Satan, I want something greater than what God wants it. And God wants all things that are good. He wants all things that are right and just and pure, holy, and, and all these good things. And sometimes we just plain get selfish. We want our own ways. And the dreams come in and say, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in dreams, I know you're probably going to touch on this, Bob, but in dreams, you mentioned a snake, but there can be, I know people that dream about trains or they see themselves in a car.
There's a lady there that's got a dream about a bus, if you want to share that.
I just got this one here, Bob. I'll just read this out quickly. Do you see what you think of this one?
Yeah.
Keep dreaming, and I get on a bus, and it doesn't stop where I want to get off. So I get completely lost way past my stop and don't know how to get back on a familiar ground. It leaves me distressed.
Okay, so she's having trouble with her family.
Sorry, what was that, Bob?
She's having trouble with her family.
Mm-hmm.
Family situations and things. A bus represents a ministry, a family ministry. You see, and so everyone that gets up on that bus is part of your family. And so the bus it has a mind of its own. Family is going to certain places. When you get caught into family issues and events, you find yourself out of sorts and not where you want to be. So has some issues reconciling family with her direction.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, you'd let us know, Maggie, if that actually has helped.
Mm-hmm.
So you can type on here and let us know your response to that and see what you think.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. That's a good one.
And that can be natural family and spiritual.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
life is so full of good intentions. One of my teachings was 19 years of being with the church. We worship the Lord. An hour of worship every service, and then an hour of teaching and prophecy. I prophesied for almost, 18 years, once or twice a month in church over the congregation, and it was free in our church, but so many mistakes were made, so many wrong mindsets and false teachings, and when you're in it, you just want to be a part and follow what's being led. But when you grow up and you realize, oh my God, that was not wise counsel. That was not so good. So loving the Lord and having a heart from him doesn't always mean that we're correct and right. And we always need to walk humbly before the Lord. Even, for me, it's like I have to stay humble. No matter how right you can be, and I tell people many times, because I'm really accurate with interpreting dreams, I can't get prideful in that, and it's like what you get out of the dream. I'm the interpreter. If I don't help you through the parable, I haven't helped you. Mm-hmm. And if I'm proud and audacious and speaking, and I know this and this is the way it is, I didn't help you then either, and so there's just, you have to want a right spirit and want a right heart and be willing for God's corrections, because we're constantly needing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. What about people, Bob, that say they don't dream?
Well, I've seen them and I prayed for them, and well, they do, but either they don't remember them, or it's only once every 4 or 5 years or something. Mm-hmm. And that's okay, because God doesn't only speak through dreams. Dreams are one way in which God speaks to us. Mm-hmm. I learned his voice, and I prophesied and gave words of knowledge and words of wisdom, and prophesied to church and the congregation, and then the Lord brought me to dream interpretation. I don't do that other prophecy as much because I've stepped into this, but it's still there. I still hear God's voice in that way also. In fact, I think it was training because of the word of knowledge. I think that the word of knowledge in dream interpretation is very big, and so my years before I was brought into dream interpretation brought me to a place where God's voice was really clear. So we hear from God in many different ways, and I've asked God a question before and went to the restaurant and had a couple talking in the table next to us, and they answered a question that I asked the Lord.
That's cool.
You just never know how God's going to answer you, but he will. That's something I want to share really quick. I one time went to a meeting and I was interceding over the city, and I came back in my prayer, and I for an hour petitioned the Lord for all these things over the city and the people and everything. And he's like, are you finished? Can we talk? And then one time I was walking, and the Lord walked with me for about an hour and a half, and he led a conversation. We were having this conversation. Then he started talking about something. I didn't know what he was saying. And he stopped. I knew it because his voice trailed behind me. I turned around, I looked, there was nothing there, but I knew he was there. And he said to me, you asked me this 2 weeks ago. What are you doing? Building unbelief? You didn't think I would answer you? And for me, I can ask God a question and have a dream, have it answered. I'm expecting the answer within hours.
Yeah.
And so having this conversation with God and having this relationship with the Lord, and we struggle with our flesh and life and everything else, but we got to go after, covet the good things, right?
Exactly.
So dreams are just one part of it. Encounters and visitations and just the still small voice in our hearts. Mm-hmm. It's all good. It's all ways to hear from God.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We just, Maggie said, that dream that we gave you, Maggie said, it could be that I'm wanting to get my family all on the right track before they're ready. Too anxious for them to come on board in my time, not theirs. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it?
It's a mama's heart.
Oh, it's a mom's heart. Yeah. She's on the bus searching them down. Another lady has put in there, I dream about an old teacher is always in my dreams, but in my dreams, we're in a romantic relationship. It is so, so odd. He was a horrible, strict teacher, and I didn't even like him. It always shakes me up.
Okay, so this is really, really cool, because here you have something where you have two contrasts. You have something, you have love and attraction and, and desire. These are all things that we have in dreams. These are all feelings and emotions we carry, and God uses them in dreams. Sex is agreement, and so, in that end, I see so many dreams from people. They tell me, I was having sex with my neighbor, and, and I'm like, okay. And then you find out the name of the neighbor, and, and then you begin to interpret the dream. But when sex is agreement and you look at it as agreement, you get caught up in what's happening in the dream. When you interpret the dream, you take the symbols and the actions that are going on, and you to interpret them, and there's a whole nother story. So a teacher that you're attracted to, that old guy sounds to me like religion. Religion is they create this thing. Okay, sin, you got to hit the bullseye. If you don't hit the bullseye, you're in sin. Anything outside of the bullseye, you're in sin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they make the bullseye so tiny that the dart point is bigger than the center. And so even if you hit it perfectly, you've sinned. It's like when you have religious mindsets and structures that are established in the flesh, established in our overreaching eyes, that seems like the old man. And the old man also could be a part of yourself. I die daily. I need to kill that old man, but I love him too much. I like chocolate ice cream and and I want to feed this old man, and so there's so many different ways in which the old man can, and so here we have a teacher, and and so here we have this harsh teacher, and that just could be life. I love life, but the lessons are so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to look at things differently.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be your only dream. When you come into one dream and there's many more, then they begin to open up, and then the subject really begins to point to, okay, I need to work on this. I need to see this in a different way. I need to realize that I've given this more power than it needs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a just weight and balance. Proverbs says a false weight and a balance is an abomination to the Lord. And so when you see the scales are tipping, in a dream, you realize, oh, okay, I've got something unbalanced. And
we know this girl, and I would say that's pretty spot on, that the teacher is like religion, and that religion for her was very strict indeed. And it was all about rules and regulations, but it's what she grew up with. So there was an emotional attachment there as well. So I can see that, but it says she didn't even like it, and she doesn't. So it's like someone that's kind of, it's almost like the Lord is saying, this is where you've been, and now you've got an opportunity to step away from that into love. Let love wrap around you. Let me wrap around you. Come into a love relationship with me, and start a new journey with me. So yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on, Bob. Yeah, we'll not stone you tonight. You must be true.
And God is love. He's tender. He's kind. He wants us to enjoy our lives. The testimony of the Old Testament. I taught a lesson on this just recently. The law. Guess who the law was for? The lawless.
Yeah.
It's for the lawbreakers, so that they would know, they would have boundaries, so that they could be corrected. When we do things wrong, we get corrected. And so here's the law. The law isn't for the spirit. Those that are, there's therefore now no condemnation for those who walk not after the spirit, but after the, not after the flesh. We're condemned when we walk after the flesh, when we're perfected by our flesh.
Yeah, we're just gonna show you what she has just said here.
Okay.
That one.
Now here's love. Oh,
come on. This is a lady that gave her life to Jesus yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
So she's like,
she's on a journey, a great journey,
just growing in the Lord, and she's amazing. She's an amazing woman.
The Holy Spirit is so wonderful, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
So much peace and constant, just
it's like,
yeah. I mean, the Lord and the Holy Spirit is so good. Just last week, we were with a lady who was having problems with, she felt like she was being attacked, but it was all from the back. And she said, I understand the armor of God, and I put it on every morning, but I still feel that my back is unguarded, and I feel that there's something attacks me on my back. And so we just did a little bit of sozo with her, and the end result was that Jesus came to her, and we said, where do you see him? And she said, it's like he's standing there and he's got his hand on my shoulder. And we said, that means he's there at your back. He's now guarding your back. And it was such an amazing breakthrough for her, and such love that the Father came to the very place she felt a weakness, and he came to show her that he was actually there. So God is amazing in all his ways.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that transforms.
Yeah,
her dream life and her day life, really. Yeah,
because that will show up in the dreams. Your progression when you do good. God's not going to only give you dreams when you do bad. Why not give you dreams when you do good? But whenever things are coming from the back, it usually represents the past. And so you have past things that you're bringing into your future or your today, which need to be left in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting that God will give you dreams, sometimes good, sometimes not good, sometimes confusing, and they're all like parables that we are to search out the truth, because they're all for our freedom.
Yes.
They're all for our freedom because of love. Yes. Like that's such a powerful thing, isn't it? Like I was brought up to believe in nightmares and terrors were all from the enemy, instead of believing actually God wanted to show me something that was happening in my life. And if we can teach children that from they're really young, when they start to get, these scary dreams.
That's the Jewish tradition, to sit around the table and say, okay, who dreamt last night? Yeah. What was your dream? Joseph and his brothers interpreted the dream. His dad interpreted it right away. He said, hey, what are you doing? You think you're going to rule over all of us? We're all going to bow down to you. It's actually something that we Jeroen and I, we encourage constantly. And when you have families doing this, I mean, the first time I have one little testimony, and we'll go for more questions. Someone called me, someone gave me their number, a Baptist family, five of them. They're all dreaming, mother, father, two sisters, and a young boy, 12, 15, and 19. And they're all dreaming. So on Thursday nights, I would start it at around 7:30, and at around 10:30, I'd end up with the father. And I mean, and go over all the dreams that they had for the week. Totally transformed the whole family, brought the family into a place of spiritual awareness and understanding, and ministered to each person in the family, the mother, the father, that each person in such a way that they're all leaders today. They're all very strong Christians. And, it's just amazing how God would do that, and just visit a whole family and to
I think we need to do that more, though, don't we? As family, actually really sit down and talk about things and talk about what God is doing within our family, within our children, our grandchildren. Like we have 14 grandchildren now. And I'm like, Lord, what are you speaking over these kids? What are you dreaming over these kids? What are your dreams for them? And how, how much we, like our eldest is 19. And the youngest is 12 days. And so we've got this like wide range of an awesome tribe. And so our heart is like to encourage them into everything that God has for them, and their dreams, and they're dreamers. A lot of them are dreamers.
But I think as well, Bob, a lot of us that probably online here can relate to this, that when we were younger, and we would have dreams, and you would go to share them with your parents or people you could relate to. And how many times were you told, oh, you have an active imagination.
Big imagination.
And it's just like, you're out there a little bit. And yet that helps shut down your ability within you, that dream was for you, and it was coming from God through love to give you information. And yet as parents, we shut down children so easily who are so much more open in the spirit to dreams and what they can see. And so our imagination is not a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to really say here.
In the writing of this book, we went through, where is it at?
There you go.
9 total edits. And the first editor, the big thing that she asked me in the first 2 edits was, who said this and why? I was teaching in the manner that Jesus did. And, he said, they say, but I say. And so I would say, they teach this. And she's like, well, who teaches what? And where's it at? And so how can we document this? And so that we can have you. And I'm like, wait a second. And so we went over this. And even in the 9th time we edited, we found a couple areas where I was still in that, I decided I'm not teaching against what other people teach. I'm just teaching what God taught me, and, but it's there. I mean, I've talked with them to get people to sign off on the book and say, hey, oh, Bob, you can't teach this. God doesn't work that way. God doesn't work that way. And he doesn't do this. And there's 11 different sources of dreams. You can't, your book is really, and this is it's where the church came, I believe, because of a religious mindset within the church, because they had to give way to these persuasive belief and thought patterns that have been adopted in the church that really were created by people in misinterpreting the word and misinterpreting things. And so the challenge, like I said in the beginning, the challenge to me is go find it.
Yeah.
And I haven't found it, it's like, I never, I don't turn down people come to me with a dream. I usually try to do it right away, because my dream interpretation skill, I don't need to pray about things and, but sometimes it does get elaborate when you have a lot of symbols and things. It's so much easier to talk to somebody rather than to write 2-page letter on what their dream means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple here that we'd like to share. See if you can interpret them. If not, that's okay. One is, this is quite an intimate one, really. Last few nights, I've been dreaming about my ex-husband. He left me 28 years ago for someone else. He married her and they had a daughter together, a daughter that I yearn to have myself. Sometimes in the dream, I dream that I am naked in a public situation with him, and I am absolutely mortified and full of shame. I haven't thought about my ex-husband in years and have absolutely no wish to be together. I would love some enlightenment on this.
Okay, so this is an identity formed in trauma. And so what God is revealing here is that you have underlying feelings and emotions. So you could see something on TV, or you could have friends that are in a relationship, or you could see children and get triggered. And then depression, other bad feelings come there. You don't know where they're coming from. This dream is now revealing to you that you're receiving these bad feelings and thoughts because of this instance. In this area, you need your soul restored. Mm-hmm. And, like David cried out, the Lord restores my soul. He's always in this, I need my soul restored. And trauma really brings an identity of where you believe a lie about yourself, and being naked is being open and exposed. And so you see, and so everything that you thought bad about yourself was the reason why your ex left and found another woman. No, he wasn't faithful and he blew it. We all have little inconsistencies. We all have little problems. We all have tags and warts and skin issues and it's we're all imperfect in many, many ways. And we can hone in on that and take away from the big picture of how great God did create us and how he did create us for love. And so this is an identity thing. And so that would be more ministry on the side.
So that's some soul stuff needing some identity for soul stuff. I get that. Roz, I hope that's been really helpful to you. If that's been helpful to you, just write a little comment. Thank you.
We got another one here, and I first read it and I thought, oh, this is not so good. The humor will come out in a second or two, but it's from the guy's link on here. Usually when I dream an ex-boyfriend whom I dated for 6 years features in the dream, and he is very unhappy. I haven't seen him for 16 years, and I have no feelings for him now. And it's from this guy's wife. It's actually from her. I first read it, I thought, what?
So she dreams about an ex-boyfriend who she dated for 6 years. And he's very unhappy, and she hasn't seen him for 16 years and has no feelings for him.
Right. And so you have to take your dream. Your dream isn't about the past unless it's an identity thing that you picked up from a trauma. So here, who's the ex-boyfriend? And the ex-boyfriend is probably your husband. And so there's some areas where, and sorry, I mean, I don't know your name or anything. I'm not trying to put your stuff all over, but it's probably your very own husband and the ways in which you used to love him and now is getting old, and you just kind of need to renew the fire. Or it could possibly be the meaning of his name. Look up the meaning of his name and see how that applies to your relationship to your husband, so that he is not the ex, but the one in front of you. It's these parables are all through the dreams, but when you take a dream like that, you look at your today and you say, where are we at? Where am I at with my today husband? And what does his name imply? Because that could be it also. What the meaning of that name, like the meanings of names are like Eric, forever ruler, or Lewis, horse trainer. There's just so many different things. Mark, usurper. John, the grace of God, Elizabeth, your oath. There's just so many different things that God will put people in your dream, and it's just their name that applies. But without having more information and all that, I would probably tend to think that there's just some things that between you and your husband that have grown old, and you need to replant. So he's not an ex anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's good. So Matthew, do you know what Matthew means as a name?
Matthew's gift of God.
Gift of God. Someone just asked there, what is Matthew ? So that answers that one. Okay. But this has been so good and so informative, Bob. And just to let you know that the viewers here, that Bob is kindly going to be sending over some copies of his book to us here in the UK. So we will have some of that, although you can get it on Book Baby. But we will actually have copies.
And you can also get it, the e-copy, e-book.
Yeah.
And so there's many ways to get it. And actually, Jeroen, because of the postage, but sorry about you. I found out for the UK because of Brexit, they won't sell you books from Europe because it's from mainland Europe, whatever. They won't sell you the books because you got out of the European Union or whatever.
We left.
Yeah. So there's some type of issue there. He was saying, I got to work on this. But he's actually gone to his publisher, and you can buy the books. It'll be different paper and things like that. The same thing happened when he wrote his first book. Goodness, can't even think of the name of it. Autism, Anyway, he wrote a book on autism because his children were healed from autism through the keys revealed in dreams.
Wow.
And he wrote a book about it.
Bob, this guy's your own. How many dreams were you saying that this guy has had? And
I worked with him once a week for 5 years, over 10,000 dreams, probably 12,000 dreams.
Wow.
And he's documented them all. He has them all saved. He's an amazing person. And actually, he told me today before, because I asked him, what can I say? He's getting ready to move to London, and goodness, now something Fire Ministries in London. I can't think of it, but he's going to go work with them and support them. So he'll be moving in the next few weeks. So
wow,
cool.
Wow. I think it's Freedom Fire Ministries. I'm not sure.
That's us.
That's us. Maybe that's prophetic, Bob.
Prophetic, yes. Yeah.
Jerome, you're listening. Hear the word of the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's just been amazing. Maybe got one quick one left, just to have a go at here. And it's a girl that said, I had a repetitive dream when I was younger that I was looking at a tree in a thunderstorm. It was dusk outside, and it always scared me to the point where I didn't want to go to sleep.
Okay. So a tree is a belief system, like the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the tree of life. And so that belief system is creating a storm, and so it's almost as if you're believing a lie, and God's trying to warn you at that time. So you were a little girl, and there's probably more dreams today. And even after the conversation, that's one of the things that, in chapter 13 of 1 Corinthians, it says faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these things is love.
Yeah.
But faith and hope, they're huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Love is tremendous, but faith and hope, we don't operate without it. And so when you see that there's hope, when you see that, oh, God can give me a dream, why can't you have one? And write it down and go after it and find a dream interpreter. Some of them will discount it, but some of them, like myself, will look into it and we'll find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Bob, just quickly, I've heard this said that if you've had a dream during the night that you're best to get pen and paper and write it down within the first 10 minutes of wakening up when it's still fresh, because you can drift and forget so much of it as the day goes on. So what would you say to that?
I'd say yes. Goodness, I just, even when you hear a thought from the Lord, it's sometimes God will say something to me. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, what did he say? Oh no, I got it already. It's like, oh, I'm not doing good here. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. We're just coming to a close here, guys. So we will have some copies of those books coming to us soon. I've already got a girl on here says I want one of the books. So we'll let you know when they have arrived and just how you can purchase those. So we
have coming 22 in the mail.
22. Come on, keys of the kingdom.
This is a book full of keys to unlock.
Book full of keys.
I mean, what are this? Can you give us quickly a breakdown of the sort of chapters that are within the book?
The content page.
Give an idea.
Yes, we actually go over where all the dreams in the Bible. We don't go over all the dreams, but we go over where dreams came from. First mention in the Bible. First mention is when you get the definition of things, so we go over the first mention of dreams and who got dreams, and we find out that everyone dreams, believers and unbelievers alike. Abimelech dreamt and Abraham dreamt, and so we get the difference between the parabolic dreams and the dreams that we take as being thus saith the Lord, and how they come and how you can pray to find out if they're true or not. And so there's so many ways. And we get into nightmares and angelic dreams, and we just go into the literal dreams, nightmares, just the foundations, all the foundations, and what the Bible has to say about it. And so we go through scripture all through. It's just loaded with scripture. We wanted, because it was a teaching, we don't have a lot of testimony. We wanted to bring out what the Bible actually said about dreams, and what's in the Bible about dreams, and of course there's more dreams that people had that aren't recorded in the Bible, and there's but direction, it's all in there. It's all there. And so you'll actually go through the Bible, and we talk about Daniel. We have a chapter on Daniel, and I wish I could go further in that, but we talk about his life and his dream life, and how dreams scared him, and how he was flattened on the ground in total fear, and and how God interpreted his dreams, and how end time events are by invitation. God invites you, and so when you have these people studying end time events from the Bible, and they're taking the Bible and they're trying to say, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen. Were they invited by God, or are they just trying to figure things out in their own mind and their own? Because without the invitation of the Lord,
like the revelation,
not gonna be right.
Yeah, we need the revelation, don't we?
Yeah, we need that invite. So, Bob, just a quick one. So, do you think that Joseph, the one that dreamed and had the dream, and then his father blessed him with the coat of many colors? So we know he had a real rough and rocky pathway before he got elevated to be the second in charge in Egypt, but do you think that his dream actually caused him problems?
It says it in Psalms. We write about it. The dreams try us.
Yeah.
Prophecy tries us.
Yeah.
We can't fulfill it. We live our lives, and we allow God to put us into those places. It's grace that elevates us. It was grace that gave Pharaoh the dream. My biggest question is this: how can Pharaoh get one dream interpretation and make this guy second in the kingdom. Come on. I mean, hey, I'm a dream, whoa, you know, but it doesn't work out that way for everyone, you know. I'm just saying.
That was just awesome favor.
Yeah. You know, but it was the dream.
He walked his journey though, didn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, it's amazing what God can do. You know, I've had so many encounters and dreams. I could go on for hours here, and I hope I helped out today.
I think we'll maybe have to get you on again, Bob.
Yeah, I think we'll have to do a little bit. But what I loved about the story of Joseph was not only was he elevated, but it was the fact that because of his connection with God, he was able to give the true interpretation, whereas Pharaoh's soothsayers and all the magicians couldn't get it.
Yep.
But this one man connected with God, and God gave him the interpretation.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what we search for, is the aha moment. It's hard to write that in the book, but it's easier to say because it's like, aha, I get it.
Like,
and when it clicks, you know you got it, you know. And when there's this thing in your something's not right, it's not right.
Exactly. So we always say to people, if you feel something that you've received isn't right, you got a delete button, you know, like the toilet flusher. Just press the flusher and
let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Well, listen, it's been fabulous having you on tonight, Bob. A real honor and a pleasure tonight. And just to hear, you know, like I've learned stuff tonight about the dream world, and I just want to say thank you for that. And if you want to, we've got some details. If you want to contact Bob, his email is stirringthewaters777@gmail.com. 777@gmail.com, or you can connect with Bob on his Facebook page as well, and you can chat with him there also. So, and also if you want to give into this ministry, into Freedom Fire Ministries Revival TV, we want to provide an opportunity for you to do that, and so that we can grow and become more professional at what we do. So we're just going to put up ways that you can give, and one of those ways is by paypal.me/FFM61, or by backs to Freedom Fire Ministries account 51536214, sort code 401722. And again, Bob, we just want to thank you for tonight. It's been awesome. And
look forward to the next time when it's not on screen, but we're actually physically together.
We're looking forward to getting your book and getting some of that knowledge out there. And I think I will definitely be purchasing one of those books.
Definitely.
And it's good. So it's been a great night. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. You are very welcome.
And remember, on your YouTube channel, if you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button, and then you'll get notifications of when we're coming up. But we just was saying there that next month on the 28th, we will actually have Dr. Joshua Fowler from Texas. He's actually a Floridian, but he's now living in Texas and running the Texas Tent Revival. So we're going to have Josh, he's a good friend of ours. So he'll be on next month. So we're looking forward to that as well. But Bob, that was a fantastic tonight. Really enjoyed it. And we only scratched the surface, I think.
But it's been good. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bob. And we'll
sign off
see you
here
next month.
God bless.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.